Everybody, welcome to Art Appreciation. We're going to start out by kind of doing a walkthrough of what to expect when you get into the course and how to navigate Canvas. So when you first get onto the course, you should see the home page. It's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to see information about the course, how to contact me, where to start the course. Over on the right side, you're going to have to do, so these are going to be the upcoming assignments. So whatever's at the top is what's due first, and then it's going to go into what's due after that. So the first place you're going to start is to go to modules. Sometimes it takes a second to load. So you're going to see Adjusting to Online Learning. This will be in all of your Jack State online classes, and you can read that on your own. We're not going to go over it in this video. You're going to see course resources. So the main thing for us is writing and citation help. If at any point you need help with citations or writing in this class, you can visit. I always recommend the Purdue OWL. It's online help. It's going to give you like formatting things. We only cite in MLA format, so you don't have to worry about all the other crazy things. Another great resource if you're on or near campus is the JSU Writing Center. I'm not sure if they have virtual help or not, but they definitely have help on campus. And of course, you can always email me and I'll do my best to help you. So where you're actually going to start is the Start Here, Welcome to the Course module. So this video is located at Welcome to Canvas video. So I hope you've made it this far. And then you're just going to kind of go through everything else. So we're going to kind of walk through it together. If you want to have this video open and scroll through this on something else, if you want to just watch the video and then go back and look at it later, it's up to you. So this is kind of telling you what to do next. So I like to just click through the next until we get through the Start Here module. So we're going to start with our syllabus. So this is information about the class and Jack's Mix. I'll let y'all read that on your own so that you're not having to listen to me read it in a video. So this class, we're going to focus on visual art. So we're not going to be talking about music. We're not going to be talking about theater. We're not going to be talking about dance. We're just going to be talking about visual art. So painting, sculpture, architecture, photography, printmaking, etc. You do have a required textbook for this class, and you will need this book. We do have assigned readings. They are very important and very helpful. You'll also be expected to cite things from your textbook, so you do, in fact, need it. You automatically get it with the Jack's Books program. So if you want to opt out, you can opt out of it. If not, you'll pay for it through the JSU stuff. We do have to have the 12th edition. So if you do get it from another source other than the Jack's Books, make sure you get the 12th edition. Sometimes things like page numbers are messed up. Sometimes the chapters are out of order or it's missing information. So a lot of your assignments come straight from your readings, from your assigned readings. So make sure that you have the correct edition. Here is my email, my office hours. If you need to meet with me, it's best to set an appointment. Sometimes I'm doing office hours and I forget to just be on Teams while I do it. I'm really bad about that. So it's usually better just to send me an email if you want to meet and we can schedule something. I also have another full-time job, so I'm very, very busy. So it's always best to just email me to meet if you need to. Grading policy is the standard letter grade with percent. We do have strict deadlines for this class. If you turn in late work, it counts 10% off for every day that it's late. So after 10 days, you get an automatic 0. Sorry about it. If you have an excuse, that's a valid excuse. Send that to me as soon as you can. So if you are very ill and you go to the doctor, send me a doctor's excuse. Don't wait until after an assignment's due to send me something. Send it to me as soon as you get it. I had a student last semester that was in a car accident on a Monday, and their assignments weren't due till the following Sunday, but they knew that was going to mess them up getting things done in time. So they sent me their stuff saying that they had a car accident. For this class, your computer messing up is not an excuse. There are plenty of places in the world where you can go to use a computer. You can go to your public library if you're not near campus. If you're near campus or on campus, there are computer labs all over campus that you can use. There's free Wi-Fi if your internet messes up at your house. Use those resources. Don't wait until the last minute to do assignments, because if your computer does mess up, you need to have time to use a backup source. I do always recommend saving your stuff online. With JSU, you have Microsoft. You have the entire Microsoft suite. So you have cloud storage, you have online versions of Word and Excel and PowerPoint and all of that. So use those sources, save it online. So that way, if your computer does mess up, you haven't just completely lost all your work. It's saved in the cloud. You can export things from the cloud to save them onto a desktop to be able to upload them to Canvas. You can't send me a link to your stuff on Canvas. You do have to actually export the document, but you can do that. And there's videos to show you how to do it if you don't know how to do it. This is an online class, as I've said. Everything's going to be online. You do have to have access to Canvas. You do have, with your JSU account, you have access again to the Microsoft Suite. I do recommend Firefox for this class. It doesn't run as well on Google Chrome or any of the other stuff. Canvas in general, things just don't open correctly on the other things, so Firefox is best. You are more than welcome to try on something else, but I have found I've been using Canvas and Blackboard and all of that for over 12 years now, and Firefox just works the best. Communication policy. Again, send me emails. I'm not going to know that you're struggling unless you tell me, because this is an online class. A lot of times I'm not going to notice that your grade is dropping until it's too late. So if you're struggling with content, if you're struggling with getting assignments finished, contact me as soon as you realize that. Even if I can't give you extensions or things like that, I can point you in direction for resources and help on campus. Academic misconduct and plagiarism. So for this class, we do not allow AI. If we see any evidence of AI, it will be reported. You'll get an automatic 0. If you have plagiarism, you're going to get, usually I give a warning and then you get a 0 on your next assignment. And then after that, it will be reported to the university. This is a college level class. We do take plagiarism very seriously. Most of us professors have published work before, and we don't want our stuff plagiarized. So we take it very seriously. So just as a blanket rule on campus, don't plagiarize. Most of the time you're going to get caught, and it can be being kicked out of the university, which is such a waste. You've wasted your time, you've wasted your money. Why do that? All of this is this is in the JSU's policy from the student handbook. So if you get a chance to read over all of that. It's what not to do. We're going to kind of hit some resources on campus. If you need help, you can go to the Student Success Center. You can go to the Writing Center. I do highly recommend the Writing Center. They do a great job. If you need help with disability, contact disability support services. They're really good about helping students as much as possible. And they'll send me your stuff, or you'll send what you need to send me for that. If you're a military connected student, we have resources for that. This is the Title IX statement. I can't see you. This is an online class. I only have a name. So I am not going to discriminate. I'm not allowed to, even if I wanted to, which I don't. We have counseling resources on campus if you're interested in that. And again, you can read over that more in depth if you need to or want to. So this is our course schedule and module checklist. At any time this is likely to change, I will let you know if anything does. The module due dates are pretty set in stone. It's going to be the module content that might change. So basically, this is going to have your due dates and what assignment goes with which module. You can look at it this way, or you can look at it when back in the module section. So this is about me. There are pictures. I'm not sure why they're not loading. Well. You can look at it on your computer. If you're interested in about me, you can read this. It's just basically, I graduated from JSU with a BFA in photography, and I graduated from the University of Alabama with an MA in art history. So I know a little bit of everything. I know how to do the art, and I know about the history of the art. You might hear my cats or my child in the background in some of the lecture videos. So if they load ever, there are pictures of my cats, because if you're going to hear them, I figure you should know what they look like. I have Apollo and Frank. I primarily focus on Renaissance, medieval art, and then also photography. I know that's very different topics, but that's what I like. You will have a quiz about the syllabus. You can take it. There is no time limit. I try not to do time limits on quizzes because I understand sometimes things happen. I mean, I have a child. I have pets. I have things that happen. So sometimes you have to stop in the middle of a quiz to do something else and then come back to it. That being said, these quizzes are not meant to trip you up. They're not meant to be super difficult. You shouldn't have to Google the answers. As long as you're watching the lectures and doing the readings, you should be fine. You shouldn't need a ton of time to do them. Why am I going back to assignments? Okay. All of my assignments are open book. So you're not going to have to lock down browser, honor lock, anything. So if you need to look back at your textbook for an assignment, go for it. If you need to, when you do the syllabus and plagiarism contract, if you need to have your syllabus open beside you or print your syllabus out and have it, that's fine. Whatever works best for you. I do allow multiple attempts. So if you do really, really bad and you're unhappy with your grade and you have time, then you can redo it. Now, if you redo it after the deadline, then you're going to either lose that 10%, and if that's still higher than your last grade, then we'll count it. If your last grade is higher, then we'll take that. But you'll lose the late points if you do it after the deadline. If I grade something like a writing assignment before the deadline, I try not to, but if I do, don't take that as me leaving comments. That's not me leaving comments on what you can do to fix to turn it back in. If you want me to look over any of your assignments before the due dates, email them to me. I will be more than happy to look over them. Send me an email, attach it to the email. I'll make comments on it and send it back. Don't wait until the day before something's due to do that. Give me a couple of days. Over the weekends, I'm probably not going to respond to your emails. I do actually have a life outside of working, and I try to keep my weekends open. So I'm probably not going to respond over the weekend. So send it to me on a weekday so I have time to look at it and send it back to you. We do have a student lounge. Most people don't use the student lounge, but if you want to use the student lounge, go for it. This is available in case you want to talk to your classmates. If you have questions that you think your classmates would be better be able to answer, you can talk to each other that way. If y'all want to start a group me and talk to each other or a message or something without me, that's also fine. You do need to do the discussion, introduction, enrollment verification before the enrollment verification deadline. So make sure you get that done as soon as possible. For this class, we will have extra credit. Well, I thought that Module 1 was published, and it's not, so my bad. But here you'll have, normally, it'll be, say, Module 1 and have your assignments, and then Module 2 and all of your assignments. I'll publish them as I get things posted. I want to make sure I get the lecture videos posted before I publish each module. But I thought I had Module 1 posted for us to look at, but I don't. We do have extra credit. At any point in the semester, if you go visit an art gallery, it can be an online art gallery, it can be an in-person art gallery. If you're on spring break and you're in a new place and you want to go visit art galleries, go for it. You can submit. I'm going to allow as many of these as you want, but you can only do one virtual. So you can't do 10 different virtual ones. But anytime you visit an art gallery, just write a paper about it. Write about your experience, write about the art you saw, what you liked, what you didn't like. You're just going to do a 1-page reflection. You can include images if you want to. Images don't count for your word count though. But 1 page, 12-point font, double spaced, 1-inch margins, and tell me about your experience. You can turn that in. I think I did, it's either 10 or 15, maybe 20. It's 20 bonus points. So if you don't have a grade that you want to have, you can do that. If you miss an assignment, go do a gallery. Go visit an art gallery, write about it. It can be a museum or a gallery, but I'm only going to allow one virtual. But these are just some of the ones near us. Birmingham's in Birmingham, but these are in Gadsden. That one's on JSU's campus. It can be different shows. You can visit the same gallery more than once if there are different shows on display. So don't talk about the same show multiple times. But you can see the calendar for Hammond Hall and the Roundhouse on JSU's website. You can start working on your final project at any time. I actually encourage you to work on it as we go throughout the semester. If you see a work of art that you like, go ahead, take a note of it, highlight it in your book, write it down on a piece of paper that you have somewhere. So for the final project, you're going to do a virtual exhibition. So you're going to pick a theme. And it's due April the 1st. You're going to submit that. But you'll pick a theme and you will choose works of art that abide by that theme. You're going to choose 7 works of art. So if anytime you find a work of art that you really love, make a note of it, and then when you get towards that theme deadline, you can see what kind of theme applies to those work of art, or you can look at what you've got, pick out a theme, and then choose which works of art from that fit that theme. So I do suggest doing that as we kind of go along. Jack's Books is where you're going to access your textbook. My computer is not wanting to load today. There we go. So you'll just do read now. You can opt out on this page as well, and I've already opted in, so it's not going to show me that. But There are instructions with the Jax books on the bookstore's website and in the syllabus that tell you how to opt out if you want to opt out. If you want to have the book this way, whichever way works best for you. You can view your grades here. Sometimes things have the wrong due date and they'll show up as missing. Don't worry about it. Most of the time it is, I have not changed all the due dates yet and I will fix it. If you notice something that it's time to turn it in based on what the modules say and the due date still hasn't been changed, send me an email. So like this is template. We're not going to do that. That's not in the class anymore. So, I need to just delete that assignment, so don't worry about it. But all of your grades should show up here. It'll tell you like what your total points are, and you can calculate your percentage from that. Anytime you turn in an assignment, it'll also have a little flag beside it. If it's like a written assignment or like you have to turn in a document, that is your turn it in score. You can click on that and it's going to tell you what your plagiarism percent is. If your plagiarism percent is really high, so like 80s, 90s above, you will get a comment from me. If it happens more than once, you will get points deducted or zeros. That being said, if you know for a fact that you did not plagiarize, but your assignment has an 80, 85, 90% plagiarism score, you can redo your assignment as long as it's before the deadline. Go in, you should be able to look at the report and see what it says it's copied from. You can go in and fix it and then resubmit. Like, that's fine as long as it's before the assignment deadline. So I do recommend doing assignments sooner rather than later so you can avoid problems like that. So that is it. If anybody has any questions about anything at any point this semester, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to help you. And I look forward to teaching you all an art appreciation.